Imagine waking up tomorrow morning. You open your front door and look up at the sky. The sun is gone. In its place, a giant black circle, completely silent, completely dark, a black hole. No explosion, no warning, just a black hole where the sun used to be. Everything you've ever heard tells you one thing: run. Because black holes destroy everything. They swallow stars. They tear apart planets. Even light can't escape them. So if the sun suddenly became a black hole, Earth should disappear too, right? Not exactly. And that's where this story becomes unbelievable. If the sun were instantly replaced by a black hole with exactly the same mass, Earth wouldn't crash into it. Our planet would keep orbiting just as it does today. The same orbit, the same gravity, the same path through space, at least for now. But surviving the first day doesn't mean life would stay the same. Because without sunlight, everything would begin to change. The oceans would slowly freeze. Plants would stop growing. The blue sky would disappear forever. And every time you looked into space, you would see something no human has ever witnessed: a black hole bending the light of distant stars. Reality itself would begin to look different. But before we discover what Earth would actually become, we first need to answer one simple question: what is a black hole? Really? Because the truth is nothing like the movies. So, what exactly is a black hole? Despite what movies often show, a black hole isn't a giant cosmic vacuum cleaner. It doesn't roam through space, pulling everything into it. In reality, a black hole is simply an object with an enormous amount of mass packed into an incredibly tiny space. Its gravity is powerful, not because it's pulling harder, but because everything is squeezed into such an unbelievably small region. Here's the surprising part. If our sun were magically replaced by a black hole with the exact same mass, Earth's orbit wouldn't suddenly change. We would continue circling it at the same speed, at the same distance. Just as we do today, gravity would still hold Earth in orbit, but there would be one problem. A problem that would change everything. The sun doesn't just give us gravity. It gives us light and heat. Without that energy, Earth would become darker every single day. Within just a few days, global temperatures would begin to fall. Weeks later, plants would stop producing food. Months later, the surface would become colder than anything humans have ever experienced. The oceans would slowly begin freezing. From the top down, most life on Earth would struggle to survive. But strangely, not all of it. Deep beneath the oceans, near hydrothermal vents, some forms of life could continue living for years, hidden from the freezing world above. And that's when scientists began asking an even stranger question. If humanity somehow survived underground, what would the sky look like above us? Because this is where black holes become truly unbelievable. Imagine stepping outside on a cold, silent night. You look up, expecting to see the stars, but the sky looks completely different. The black hole itself would still appear as a perfectly dark circle, but around it, something extraordinary would happen. The gravity of the black hole would bend light itself. Stars behind it would no longer appear where they actually are. Instead, their light would stretch into glowing rings around the black hole. This incredible effect is called gravitational lensing. It's real, and astronomers have actually photographed it. From Earth, it would look as though the universe itself had been twisted. Some stars would appear brighter, others would seem duplicated. Entire galaxies could look distorted, as if space had become a giant cosmic mirror. And then things become even stranger. Time itself would begin behaving differently, according to Einstein's theory of general relativity. The stronger the gravity, the slower time moves. If Earth orbited far enough away, you'd never notice. But if our orbit slowly moved closer, every second on Earth would become slightly slower. compared to the rest of the universe. Imagine spending 1 year on Earth, only to discover that many years had passed for everyone else. The closer you moved, the greater the difference became. And eventually, there would come a point where escaping would no longer be possible, because beyond a certain boundary, even light can never return. And that's where our journey becomes truly terrifying. So, what happens if Earth keeps moving closer? Eventually, we would reach a boundary called the event horizon. It's often described as the point of no return. Not because a black hole suddenly pulls harder, but because beyond this point, there is simply no path that leads back, out. Even light, the fastest thing in the universe, cannot escape. If Earth somehow crossed that invisible boundary, the rest of the universe would slowly disappear behind us. No sunrise, no stars, no distant galaxies, only darkness, growing deeper with every passing moment. For anyone watching from far away, something even stranger would happen. They would never actually see Earth fall into the black hole. Instead, our planet would appear to slow down more and more until it seemed completely frozen at the edge of the event horizon. Its light would gradually fade, turning redder, dimmer, until Earth simply vanished from view. But for the people on Earth, time would feel completely normal. They wouldn't feel a sudden jolt. They wouldn't notice the exact moment they crossed the boundary. Reality itself would quietly change around them. And that's what makes black holes so fascinating. They don't just challenge gravity, they challenge our understanding of space, time, and reality itself. Today, black holes remain some of the greatest mysteries in the universe. Every new discovery brings new questions, and perhaps, somewhere out there, entire planets really are orbiting these invisible giants. If they are, their skies would be unlike anything we've ever imagined, and maybe one day humanity will witness a view that today exists only in theory. If you enjoyed exploring one of the universe's greatest mysteries, don't forget to subscribe, because next time we'll journey even deeper into the cosmos to discover another impossible world waiting to be explained.